Welcome back to She Knows Ball, presented by We Live It Sports, where we talk about the culture in the league, different sports, and everything happening on and off the court. I'm joined with,
Tatiana.
and I'm Trinity Ortega, and today we're going to be talking more playoff basketball. We are in the midst of it. Game 2 just happened with the Nuggets. What are your initial thoughts?
I am so I just can't wait for it to be game three already. I was so excited about game one. Game two was a complete disaster by the Denver Nuggets, but I'm just ready for game three. I need to see how the Nuggets are going to respond, but it's been fun so far. How about you? What do you think?
No, I totally agree. I feel like the Nuggets just were not playing mile high basketball at all. They looked
Mm-mm.
sluggish, they looked tired. They looked like the altitude was affecting them, honestly.
Exactly.
Like, you should not be looking that tired in game 2. Shots weren't falling. Defense is a whole other topic, and we'll get to that later, but yeah, I'm just kinda disappointed. It's scary. It really knocks down the chances of it even being a 5-game series, which I never thought it was gonna be. I think the Timberwolves have a lot of confidence, and they think they can beat us, obviously based on the past. So I do see it going to a game 7. But what do you think? Do you see it in 5? I know that was your initial thought last week. What are you thinking?
Yes. Yeah, I still think Nuggets in five. I just am so like it's like traumatizing because we went through game seven at home and it was the same thing, 19-point lead that just went down the drain, and the T-Wolves were able to just pull away with the win, and then the trash talking afterwards, like it's just seems way too familiar to what it was last time, and it's kind of just like, oh my God, I can't even believe we're doing this again with the same team, with the same like main players, and it's just
Yeah.
a little bit traumatizing as a like watcher and everything. But I think that they're gonna respond in game three, and I still think that it could be Nuggets in five, but we'll see. We'll see if that changes after game three.
Oh, for sure. Let's go into a little bit of a player breakdown for this game. Jamal Murray, I feel like, really showed up in the first half. He hit, I think, was it like a half court shot or something,
Yeah.
like going into the halftime?
Which
Even
tied us,
though,
yes.
yes, even though the play was very risky and just everything, I feel like going into the second half went kind of downhill. I do think that Jamal was really good for 75% of this game, and he just needs to keep being that, but he cannot lose his speed. As for the others, Aaron Gordon, I hate to talk downly, but he just did not respond or even came into the game the way I was initially expecting. Looked kind of tired from the jump. Team as a whole, Jokic just had a very awkward night. So I don't know what was going on. I feel like this will ignite a fire under them to come back and respond. But what are your thinking on any specific players that you saw?
Yeah, I think like I agree with everything you're saying. Jokic was the most surprising. He just looked very tired, and like of course he's going to be very tired because they're putting him in earlier than what is expected in the playoffs. I think the state of and the non-Jokic minutes with Val were the ones that did the most damage in
Mhm.
that game, and I don't know. I think we had like a feel out Jokic game, game one.
Yeah.
But game two, I just think he was like not expecting Rudy to be as great as he was. And it's I don't know what to even think about like our whole Aaron Gordon thing. Like he's our beloved Aaron Gordon, Mr. Nugget, as people
Yeah.
call him. But I don't know. I think it was a very odd game from him too. He just I don't know. He didn't seem like himself, like he wasn't 100%. And I don't know what to think of that. I know he's trying to be careful with himself and just the injury stuff. So, like, very understandable. But now that, like, this whole game two happened, it's like, okay, now we need you to actually show up and be yourself for game three and four. And of course, game five and everything. But it's just, um, Yeah, I agree with everything you said, and it's just a lot to talk about, a lot we can go through, like, every single player, and there's gonna be something about them, but
Yes.
yeah, I think our bench too. It's just we need to get it together, lock in everybody.
And on the T-Wolves side, I hate they are the rivals for sure ever since that one series when they took us out in game 7. I just cannot stand them, but one thing I will say is they did keep responding even in like the clutch, like when you think, "Oh, we can chop it down to 3. Make it 3, we could chop it, we could tie."
Yeah,
They kept responding time and time again, and like you said, Gobert really just had a good game. He came as he was and who he is meant to be, and I just feel like they were gonna come out like that. I know there was gonna be one game where they come out heavy-handed and just really give it to us, but this early and then not to, like this is the first series. If the
yeah,
Nuggets are looking this tired and this worn down and this, like, just not themselves, it leads me to believe how far can we go against an OKC team, against the Spurs, and just all the series that come after this.
exactly, and then not to even, like, mention Ant was, like, not even himself, like,
No,
not even half of himself, and I have gained so much more respect for him because he
yeah,
played, what, 40 minutes around there,
he
and
did.
he just did not give up. He was still trying to do his defense on everybody he had to match up with on our side of the things, but he just didn't even, like, give up. He kind of just, like, stuck with it, continued to play and everything, and he didn't even feel any pressure or anything, even to like, the fact that he's literally, like, hopping and wobbling around. You can kinda
Yeah.
see it in the first half of game 2. It was very noticeable, but then, like, he's like, "I'm not gonna let this affect me," and just the way his mentality is, like, that's why he's one of, like, the my favorite players, outside of the Nuggets, but, yeah, just him and then just their role players stepped up in the second half. Bones Highland hit some huge threes that they needed, and, yeah, I think DiVincenzo too. He did really good for them. So it's just such a good matchup for the Nuggets. They know each other so well. The history is there. It's just always a battle when it comes to them two playing each other. And I'm just looking so forward to this next game. And I think that's going to tell us a lot of the Denver Nuggets and what you said. Like it kind of makes us question like what about when they do go up OKC? Like, what's going to happen there? And there's a lot of questions on my behalf, but I think once I see them to see how they respond, I think we'll have those answers.
Well, let's move on to what they said outside of off the court and in the locker room. Jaden McDaniels left us with a very I wouldn't say surprising comment. I was very surprised with the way he called out so many players on our team, just really criticizing our defense that we are not good defenders and naming guys, which is not necessarily common to see in a post game
Yeah.
interview like that. What was your initial thoughts on that?
I was shocked. I thought it was fake at first because I was like in the car leaving the arena. Yes, I was in the car leaving the arena, and my parents went to that game with us, and I was like just on my phone and I was like, is this real? I was like, there's no way this guy is just calling out Nikola Jokic, like government names, Jamal Murray. He said,
Aaron
Aaron
Gordon.
Gordon, yeah, Tim Hardaway. He was calling them out government names, first and last names, like disrespectful, did not even care. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, what is that? Like, how is this even a thing? I'm like, it's only game 2. It pissed me off. So
I
I
understand.
yeah, I was just like, what? Like how dare he? But I mean, whatever, it's part of the game. What are your thoughts?
I wasn't too surprised, especially it being the Timberwolves, the rivals. This is a very amped up series. It was very anticipated. And
Mhm.
he's feeling confident. They're feeling confident. They're on their high horse. I'm sure they are, especially after winning like that and just seeing how we did play in that game.
Yeah.
From my perspective, it's just playoff energy. It is the competition is at an all-time high and I feel like this is another fire that can be lit for us. I feel like they need to use this in a way to gain up some momentum and motivation to really just go into game 3. And like you said, we're going to see how they respond in game 3, especially with that comment that, and it's just, I'm not surprised, is
Yeah.
kind of what it
And
was.
yeah, did you see the responses too? Like the immediate responses? And I'm not sure like if they were able to hear everything, but like Aaron Gordon's response and I can't remember if it was Christian Brown or who it was, like
Yeah.
their immediate response. I was kind of worried. I was like, are we sure this is what we
Mhm.
want to say?
Yeah. Well, let's move into the responses. Let's start off with AG. What was your initial thought of how he handled the situation?
I think it's very on brand for him. I like that's exactly what I expected for him to say. It's just like, brother, I don't care, or like, cool, or like, what do you want me to say to that? You know, like that's just how
Exactly.
he responds to drama and stuff. And I think he's more of the person to like show it in person and on the court.
Game.
Like I fully expect him to go like bodies at the freaking the whole entire Minnesota team. Like that's just the type of player he is. So his comment like was not surprising and it did not bother me at all. So I was just like, okay, like wonderful. But I don't think he knew to the extent of the
Mm,
entire thing that McDaniels said. You know, I don't think he probably knew like it was first and last names. And I mean, what do I know? I'm not Aaron Gordon. I'm not in his head or whatever. But I'm just like, you know, it's just very on brand for him. What do you think?
yeah, I know. I totally get what you're saying. I think even you bring up like the way in which Jaden McDaniels said it, first last names, calling out multiple players. I feel like it would have been the same response either way from
Mm-hmm.
him. He's very, like you said, he shows it on the court. And I commend him so much for that because he never is one that you're seeing in the drama. He's never
Mm-hmm.
entertaining it. So I did love his response. CB, though, I feel like he gave kind of a more in depth analysis of it. Not that any of them really did, they were all pretty shorter answers, but I loved that he said, "We just got to handle the Denver Nuggets." What do you think that means when he says that?
I think it's exactly what he means. Like, we just have to do us and keep on like showing them, like, okay, you want to talk off the court, all this crap. Like, let's go ahead and like handle this on the court, you know? I think that's like very genius of him to do. I wish there was a little bit just because I know how he is of just being like very quick and smart and like not caring what people think about him. I just wish there would have been like a little more trash talk. But I'm so happy that he's like going above that and he doesn't need that to like motivate himself to play playoff basketball because I think he also did say kind of those words too. And it's I don't know, I'm just I cannot wait until this next game, Trinity. I'm telling you right now, I'm like, I'm just gonna be so locked in. Ever since we lost on Tuesday, I've been like, I wish it was Thursday, 7:30 or whatever time the game starts, because I'm like, I need to see the response. But what do you
Yes.
think?
I think that I agree with that. I love that you leave off with the response in game 3. I think that's what everyone is waiting for, especially
Mhm.
after public comments like that. We want to see
Yes,
how they show up and respond, especially because we got other responses from the coach who's like, "Can't wait to see the podcast about it." I love
exactly.
that response. Let them talk. I think Cam Johnson also had like a response like this where he was like, let them talk. We're going to handle
Mhm.
us. And I loved how our Nuggets went about responding to this. They were all very cool, very nonchalant. And I think that's really what it is. You just got to do the work in the practices and then come out and respond.
Yeah, I think I was also seeing like the other side of things. I think they had asked Nas Reed, I think if I'm not mistaken, but they had asked him like what are his thoughts on like everything going viral about what McDaniel said and he was like there's some people that just need like that mental push and stuff and like to get them hyped up and like when it comes down to it like yeah, I think that's exactly what he was doing. He's calling out names because he knows that he's going to get the best version of each one of those next game.
Exactly.
And it's like that is kind of like a new lock in kind of mental game for him as well. Like McDaniel's just himself. So yeah, I cannot wait to see the response from the Denver Nuggets, each one of them that were called out by their government name. I cannot wait to see what they have to say.
What they bring,
Um,
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I expect it to be very chippy. I expect
Yeah,
someone to get a technical or something. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm just
waiting for someone to get thrown out of the game. I know there's gonna
exactly.
be fights. Who knows what's gonna happen in this game?
Who
Um,
knows?
but on that note, I know you had posted a video that got a lot of traction, and Nikola Jokic being poked by Julius Randle. Can you explain that whole situation and give me your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I just kept seeing Jokic getting frustrated, like
Mhm.
more and more. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start focusing on him and like why is he looking so frustrated? You know, like we watch this guy all day, all night, like every single game. Like we kind of see his facial expressions, his energy. So I'm like, I'm gonna focus on him. Let's see why he's getting so upset. And the more I started focusing on him, like I was seeing obviously he's being defended and it's obviously the playoffs. So like whatever, but he's getting his shirt tugged, he's getting pushed around, like elbowed. They
Yeah.
started doing it, and it wasn't just Julius Randle. The viral clip I posted was Julius Randle because you could obviously see him like poking.
Yes.
But Nas Reed was doing it to him. Rudy was doing it to him. He was being poked the entire game. Um, so I kind of like zoomed in. I was like, this is why he's upset. And you can clearly see him. He's like poking him. Like you can see his whole body move. It's not like a soft little poke. It's like a I'm going at you. Hey, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. You know, obviously being a good defender, that's what you would do. But it's so frustrating. Like imagine if that's what you have to put up with every single possession. And then the freaking refs are right there and they're not calling it. They're not saying anything. It's just frustrating, and I understand I don't understand because I don't play, but like I can see his frustration, and I don't know, it's just like people are saying like, "Oh, you're so soft." Like you're thinking this is anything of it, like this is the playoffs, let the guys play. It's like, "No, they are letting him play. They're letting him being like freaking pushed around and shoved and poked and whatever, and it's just not being called." And I don't know. What are your thoughts on it? A lot of people are saying like, "Oh, if that was SGA, he would have had 50 free throws or whatever." But
Oh,
yeah,
1,000%. I think, and I've had this conversation with some of my other friends, and just the kind of bully ball that's like played on us. The
yes.
refs, I don't know what it is. I don't know what kind of NBA script there is out there,
Oh my
but
god.
they need to do a better job, bottom line. If it was SGA, we would have had 53 throws.
Oh, for
But
sure.
it's just, I think the Nuggets need to play through it. And that sucks to say, but it's like if they're not going to do the refs are not going to do their job properly, as some would say, you just got to play through it. You got to be an even better team. And I think in the end, that'll show like, hey, we were getting our ass kicked. We were not coming, like, we were going through the physicality, but we still came out on top. I feel like in the end, that would be more rewarding in a way. There's really nothing you can do about it. You just got to
Yeah.
play through it. So that's kind of my initial thought. But we
It
also
just
have, oh, carry on. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, I just said it just sucks that it just is like a like they're allowed to do this to him, you know? And like I see the frustration. I see both sides of it, but it's just like what does this guy have to do? I mean, last game, game 1, he had a bloody nose and he only had one free throw the entire game. So, whatever. We're not going to complain about the refs or whatever, but I'm just pointing out, I'm just like putting it out there, letting you guys see it, like what we're seeing at the
Letting the
arena, you
people
know?
know. Yes.
Mhm.
Another thing that came up, which is very, the Nuggets are just going through it right now. Right before we filmed this, I know we were mentioning this earlier. Kellen Johnson won Sixth Man of the Year. Not Tim Hardaway Jr. SGA also won Clutch Player of the Year. And then Wemby won Defense Player of the Year, youngest to do it. I'm very happy about that. I feel like he should have
Yes.
got his first year. But these other two awards, where do you think our Nuggets competed with those two, Jamal Murray and Tim Hardaway Jr.? How do you think that should have went down?
I'm very surprised that Tim Hardaway didn't win. I didn't even know that because I know that they were going to bring it out before coming on here. And I was going to check. I spaced out on it because I was running late. But, anyways, I can't believe he didn't win that. I literally posted, I like, if I'm going to crash out if he doesn't win. I don't know. I said something like that. Like, how did he not win that? Are the Nuggets like not like the Nuggets are just not being taken seriously right now? And like, what
What it
is
feels
that?
like. That is
Yes.
1,000% what it feels like. And
Okay, I'm
and after game 2, like I get it. I get what people are saying. But nonetheless, it's gonna light an even bigger fire. We're gonna come out. We keep saying, I think game 3 is gonna be big, but it is saddening. I feel like Tim Hardaway Jr. just really gave us his all in that 6-man role. He tied the record for making 7 3-points off the bench 5 times this season.
yeah.
He was just doing all the things. He was there, and it's surprising, honestly. This is probably
I'm
the most
so surprised. I'm like, what the hell? Okay.
but SGA winning clutch, not surprised, honestly. I feel like that was a very competitive award. We had Ant and Jamal as finalists. Obviously, Nuggets fans were going to go with Jamal Murray unless you have other thoughts, but I just saw a different side of Jamal Murray this year. It was his first All-Star. I feel like he very well could have won that. But it's the media. It is
Yes.
media. I think that contributes to SGA winning, but that is my opinion. What are your thoughts on that one?
No, I kind of knew that it was going to be SGA. I was hoping. I didn't think that Jamal would win it just because of how
Mhm.
the Nuggets are being presented and just like the whole
Exactly.
like national media stuff. I was thinking it was going to be either Ant or SGA. I was hoping it was an SGA just because I know like the whole unethical stuff and free throw stuff. So
Mhm.
I'm like, you know what? Give it to Ant. Like he
I
low
would have
key
loved to see
does.
that.
Yeah, I'm like he low key does deserve it. Like not saying
Yeah.
that no one doesn't deserve it, but like he has been able to like rally his whole entire team into some insane wins this season. And I know he was out for a couple times, but that
Mhm.
still like he just always plays really hard and he's one of the most ethical players, I think, in my opinion. So I don't know. I wish it would have gone to Amp, but you know, SGA got it. So here we are. Congrats to him.
Well, on that note, let's go to our final second segment, clock it or not it. For this one today, we're going to go back to the Jaden McDaniels comment, clock it or not it. We're going to use this comment as motivation, or we're just going to let the media keep perceiving it how it is. What's your thoughts?
I think it's a clock it because how dare you bring out my government name if I was one of them? It's like we're gonna just shut you up on the court. We're going to beat you at home twice. That's what I would love to see. And that's why I'm saying it. But it's like, no, clock it. Like, you know what? I'm going to clock your tea because you think you're going to come over here and say all this stuff. Like, I'm going to say stuff to the media that's going to sound very chill and not crazy. But it's like, you know what? On the court, I'm going to go bodies to bodies with you. I'm going to do everything to stop you. Like, you're not even going to get double digit points. Like, you know, like it's just, I
Mm-hmm.
want them to use that as motivation. I think they are. We'll see. But what are your thoughts?
Clock it too. I love everything you just said. I think, yeah, it's going to be physical. It's going to be gritty. I'm waiting to see someone get thrown out of the game. Who
Yes.
knows if it's going to be a coach, player, but clocking it again, just like the level of, I don't want to say disrespect, but
No, I
the
think it was disrespect.
confidence that he had to first last name to like some of our best guys, the best player in the world, you're going to call out like that. Okay, we'll see you next game. And
Disrespectful,
I
exactly.
yes, and I think we're going to come out on top of this series, and then we'll see what he has to say after that.
Exactly. We'll see. We'll see
And
what
on
he has to say.
and on that note, we will wrap it up there. Thank you all so much for tuning into She Knows Ball, presented by We Live It Sports. I'm Trinity, joined with,
Tatiana.
and let us know what you guys thought of this week's episode, your thoughts on all the craziness going on in the playoffs, and we will see you guys next week.